Miss Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Oh, boy, are you kidding me? 56 degrees outside, sunny, clear. Nice, nice, nice. This pork fried rice from Trey M. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees. Let's get this party going. 2 big hours coming your way. Yeah, you heard me. 56 degrees, sunny, so nice, just cool and crisp out there. A wintry snap coming in. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, it'll be 40 in the morning. You North Shore folks, a freeze alert. Could be freezing temperatures. You know what that means? The triple P is in effect on the North Shore. Protect the plants, the pipes, and most importantly, the pets. Yeah, could have freezing temperatures overnight on the North Shore. We'll wake up high 30s, around 40 tomorrow over here on the South Shore. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon, all the way till 6 o'clock. A lot to discuss. Southern living, best cities in the South. How did New Orleans fare? Any other cities in Louisiana making that list? Top 20. French Quarter Fest full lineup. West End Park might be coming back online after 20 years. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, at the controls. Fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. But first, Councilwoman District A, Amy McCarron, joins us on the program. Amy, how are you this afternoon?
I'm good. You know, we were out on site earlier checking out the latest, progress on the water main break, but otherwise it's a beautiful day. So that's good.
No, it's a beautiful day. No doubt about that. It's nice to get outside. Too bad you're outside doing this. What, a half dozen breaks in about the last 5-6 weeks, 5 of them in Uptown New Orleans. The latest, the one by Tulane, by Audubon and Willow, about a mile from Panola and Carrollton, where they had 2 breaks. It's almost like out of control, huh?
Yes, exactly. And those, all 3 of those that you just mentioned were in District A. So we started off the year at the end of January with the first big Panola Street. And then we had the second one on Monday last week, and then Audubon and Willow towards the end of last week. So it's a lot. I mean, we have lots of questions for Sewage and Water Board about why this is happening and what are their plans to, fix these things or have a plan to fix them, and what's that funding model going to look like.
And also the possibility of the Sewage and Water Board coming under the council's control?
Yes, exactly. I know that there's a bill in the legislature, and we're working directly with Baton Rouge on, what that exactly looks like as far as accountability and transparency. Because, right now we get all the phone calls about Sewage and Water Board, and we can't really do anything because we don't have the teeth behind it to say, well, we're going to take away your budget or we're going to do this and that. So, having more control over that will help us. We're getting all the heat, so we might as well have the accountability piece too.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's its own entity, yet it's sort of owned by the city of New Orleans, works for the city of New Orleans, yet it's like a state agency.
Yes. And then it has its board, and the board kind of, they're in charge of selecting the executive director, and I think they're in charge of budgeting. So it's very, anytime in government when you have 3 different entities running something, everybody can point fingers at each other, and there's no one to really take accountability and the responsibility for it.
Amy, we know a lot of the systems over 100 years old. A lot of these pipes, water mains, I think one on Panola was 88 years old, they said. So it's beyond like a lot of the system. It's past its due date, or, it's really like at collapse and falling apart status now, right? In some spots.
Yes, in some spots it is. And I think, what we're trying to figure out is, I know anything closest to the Carrollton station obviously is going to be your oldest pipes and water mains. And so, if that needs to be the priority of how they work that way and backwards on fixing these things. And, the other question is, when we have done construction in the past, I know that some water pipes have been replaced or repaired when they do full street reconstruction, and some haven't. So, figuring out how we move forward on, if we're opening up a street for some reason, we've got to make sure that all the utilities in there are actually working together to fix it at that time.
And then it seems like you can shore up one spot, and then maybe it puts pressure on a spot that is vulnerable.
Yes, exactly. So anytime they have to shut off one section to fix another thing, it causes that pressure to get through, and then it has another issue. So, and they had, for this latest one for Audubon and Willow, they actually had to go on a section of Sycamore Street near Carrollton and make a valve repair or replacement there, or install something there. I don't know all the engineering terms, but they had to do that in order to assist with fixing Audubon and Willow. So, something else had to be torn up so this could get fixed, and it's a big mess.
Amy McCarron's with us, Councilwoman District A in New Orleans. I mean, that first Panola one, that's when the car fell into the sinkhole and got totaled. The second one was when like 2 feet of water went into some people's homes. This third one is right by Tulane University. How do we figure out like when the next one's going to be and prevent it from happening? It just seems very difficult to figure that out.
It is, but there was one on Willow and Calhoun, which is on the same line as Willow and Audubon, that I had been reporting for months. And, I said, there's water pouring out of this leak right here, not just like a little bit of water, like water gushing out. And so to me, it's like, that kind of seems to be where you should prioritize fixing these things. And if it's not, then Sewage and Water Board needs to explain in regular human being terms of like why we wouldn't fix something like that first, because there are other priorities down the line. Then we'd have a better understanding. But right now, to us and to neighbors, everybody is, on edge thinking, this is going to be next, because we can't tell and we don't understand what's happening. So they've got to really explain to us how they are prioritizing and what specifically they're looking for in order for them to prioritize a spot.
When all of this is lined up, ideally, where the city council has control over the Sewage and Water Board, the left hand kind of knows what the right hand's doing. Who pays for all these inspections and potential repairs? Where do we get the money?
That's going to be the other question of how that funding would look like. The Sewage and Water Board, they have millages currently. I know that's something that they've been looking into, along with the city council and the mayor have been for a long time, a stormwater management fee. Now, of course, that would only fund drainage projects, not something like this with our water service. So, that's a whole other funding stream that we'd have to figure out. So there's a lot of moving parts, especially if the council takes over, or however we structure this, of funding and budgets and who's going to be responsible for what. And it's got to be really, really clear, so that we can tell, that the public is able to say, okay, I know who to call. I know who's working on what aspect of this.
A few years ago, then President Biden came to New Orleans, actually used the Sewage and Water Board as an example of this, multi-trillion-dollar invest in America, reinvest infrastructure package that he was trying to push. He was talking about $2 billion with a B of investment in the Sewage and Water Board alone. This sort of seems like it's bigger than New Orleans, bigger than Louisiana. It's almost like the lead pipes in Flint, Michigan type thing. 300-plus-year-old city, a system that's 100 years old in a lot of parts of it. Kind of a breakdown of the system right now. Is this a federal fix, Amy?
Yeah, it's absolutely got to be. It's got to be federal, and it's got to be state. And, but like the council and Councilmember Hughes, I think, expressed this at the Public Works meeting, last week was that the Sewage and Water Board needs to tell us exactly what they are advocating for and what that plan is. So that way we can help. It's not like we don't want to assist and advocate for the money as well. But if we have no idea what we are asking for, then we can't do it. So that is something we've just been pressing really hard on the Sewage and Water Board to get us the plan, loop us in, and tell us how we can assist with getting that federal funding. Because we're not going to be able to produce this amount of money that they're going to need. We're going to need help from the state. We're going to need help from our federal government.
Hey, Amy, before we let you go, what's positive going on in District A?
I mean, what's positive is, well, there's new businesses opening up in Lakeview. There's a new coffee shop happening, so there's some positive things. We're getting streetlights done. We have some exciting roadwork news that'll be coming out later this weekend in Lakeview, that Bel Air Drive is going to be finally getting fixed. So
whoa. Bel Air Drive's going to finally be getting fixed?
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
that is a ridiculously major announcement for anyone who knows that street. And I did see you can turn off West End on Harrison Avenue and make it to Canal Boulevard without losing your oil pan. Lots of nice fixes there.
Yes, you can. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Things are happening. This too shall pass. We will work on it. And, if anybody has a water leak, call 52 Water and then report it to us because we want to know.
Amy McCarron, Councilwoman, District A. Thanks so much for the time this afternoon.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
That's Amy McCarron joining us, talking about District A and those water leaks. Bel Air Drive to be repaired. Wow.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Because I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Real New Orleans conversation.
No place like New Orleans.
Corey Johnson.
Gorgeous day outside. I might have to drop some coals tonight. Throw down some chicken or pork or steak or something. Might have to drop some coals. A little cool, but so what? It's just crystal clear. It's crisp. It's nice. Might have to do that little after dinner walk. Bundle up a little bit. It's going to be 40 when we wake up in the AM. High 30s on the South Shore potentially. The North Shore, freezing temperatures in the morning. No, it's really nice. Warming up by Wednesday. And then like for the next week after that, just perfecto. Lots of 60s and 70s. Wow. Southern Living, best cities in the South. They looked at history. They looked at music. They looked at the arts, food, culture, like not economy, crime, infrastructure, education, like things we kick butt and take names. History, music, art, food, culture, got to be number one, huh? Tampa came in at 20th, San Antonio 19, Charlotte 18, Atlanta 17. Pensacola, Florida was 16. I like Pensacola. Louisville 15, Austin 14, Orlando 13. Franklin, Tennessee 12. Sarasota, Florida 11. St. Petersburg 10th. Greenville, South Carolina 9. Chattanooga 8. Wilmington 7. Lexington, Kentucky 6. Coming in at number 5, Southern Living, best cities in the South, New Orleans in at 5. Nashville was 4. Asheville was 3. Savannah 2, and Charleston 1. Charleston, Savannah, and Asheville 1, 2, 3. They're really almost not even cities. They're almost large towns, all three of them. Charleston, Savannah, Asheville, really large towns more than cities in my book. Nashville's a city, twice the metro New Orleans population now in Nashville. They're hovering around like 2.5 million and booming. Cranes in the air. They're in at number 4. I get that. Little bit of history, music, of course, some art, some decent food, some culture. But I think New Orleans compared to Nashville, Asheville, Savannah, Charleston, history, music, art, food, and culture, I don't know. I think we're like clearly number 1. It's not even close. You could pick a couple of neighborhoods in New Orleans, like the French Quarter and, the Garden District. Those two alone. And you've got more architecture, history, art, music, food, and culture than any of the cities in the South. 766-9480. Look, it wasn't mentioning education, infrastructure, crime, economy. It was mentioning history, music, art, food, and culture. How can New Orleans not be clearly number 1 on this list? 766-9480. 766-9480. I'm telling you, you take the French Quarter and the Garden District, and you've got more history, music, art, food, and culture than just about any southern city on that list. Speaking of, French Quarter Fest announces their full lineup April 16th, Mario Brothers. That's what, like 4 weeks from Thursday?
That's literally a month from now, a month from today, yes.
Literally 4 weeks from this Thursday. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from Thursday.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
French Quarter Fest, that means what, 31 days away? Wow. 4 weeks from Thursday, April 16th through 19th. 4 big days, a Thursday through Sunday gimmick. 300 acts on 20 stages. 70 local restaurants being represented. serving about 275 plus dishes. Are you kidding? That's strong. I'm telling you, Mario, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, like food and music, you can argue which one's best.
Yeah.
I mean, I think folks that like the national scene are going to argue Jazz Fest. Folks that like more local music, it's an argument which one's clearly better.
It's an argument. Either way, it's so awesome. We have stuff to do year round.
No,
Like,
it is.
I
It's
hadn't done
great.
the St. Patrick's Day parade much of my life, but I went this weekend and it was a lot of fun.
You went on Metairie Road?
Yeah, I went on Metairie Road and the Irish Channel on Saturday. I
Nice,
did
man.
both, yeah.
Mario, kicking butt and taking names.
Yeah, man.
Sweet.
Weather was nice. Had a
No,
little
the
free
weather
time.
was perfect. Yesterday was incredible. Shorts and T-shirt.
Yes.
Perfect.
Before the cold today. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep. West End Park might be coming back online after 20 years. I mean, sinful behavior. That Lincoln Beach has been closed for 60 plus years. Just a few generations have missed that. Lots of New Orleanians have come and gone in the 60 years. And Lincoln Beach never opened? That's just crazy. That's crazy. A natural beach on the water where people go anyway, yet it's closed off. So that's been for 60 plus. For 40 plus years, Pontchartrain Beach, same as Lincoln Beach, natural beach on the lake, nice water, cool spot, closed down for 40 plus years, generations. West End Park, it's been 20 plus already, 20 plus years. I've had some folks on, I think it's a dual neighborhood like Bucktown, West End Park, I think together, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's like Lakeview and West End Park. I think it's West End Park and Bucktown crossing parish lines, I think. And I've had those representatives on. To them, there's like a quagmire in a way. The old West End Park was built over the New Basin Canal at the mouth of the lake on pilings above the water. Now you have a pumping station that's right there. So there's some concern about building commercial buildings right near the mouth of the pumping station. So then the developers are like, let's build on the land, which gets confusing because half of that parking lot sits in Jefferson Parish. Half of that parking lot of the old West End Park sits in Orleans Parish, literally. The canal is the parish line right up until it approaches the lake, and then it veers east a little bit and cuts right into what you would think is Orleans Parish, clearly. Jefferson on the other side of the canal, Orleans on this side, the line of demarcation, it's right down the middle of the canal, but it's not. It's really right down the middle of that old West End parking lot. So supposedly, finally, Orleans and Jefferson Parish folks have gotten together to redevelop this spot. But residents of West End that live out there in the boathouses and the like, it's been 20 years since there's been anything out there. And there's some other things that have developed on the New Basin Canal side of that area. And I say New Basin Canal. Actually, West End Park is the 17th Street Canal, not the New Basin Canal. 766-9480. But on the other side of that area of West End, by the New Basin Canal, there have been some businesses that have come online. So this is the 17th Street Canal, old West End Park, old Coconut Village. No, it's been 20 years, so residents have concerns. I think there has to be some kind of compromise. I think you're going to build on land overlooking the water. The West End Park folks have like other spots available they'd like West End to consider. So we'll see where this thing goes. I'll have to get those West End Park folks back on again. Hey, Mario Brothers, the NBA. Looks like they're ready to expand. They're going to vote to explore the expansion. I mean, it's like the NBA meeting to award Vegas and Nashville the next two Super Bowls. It's all but done. NBA expansion, it's pretty much all but done. It's going to be Las Vegas and Seattle, I guess, when they decide to pull the trigger.
Yes, those are the two cities being discussed, and it's going to probably require some kind of realignment, which has happened before. Originally, you bring up that playoff series against
Pels
the
have been in both sides. Huh?
yeah, you bring out that playoff series against the Sixers in the early 2000s. The Pelicans were actually in the Eastern Conference when that happened. It realigned in like 2004 or something like that. So now they might be going back to the East.
What's crazy is all right, Las Vegas getting another pro team. They'll have all four major pro teams.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
All of
All
them.
four, from zero to all four in like a decade.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how taboo that just having one team in Vegas was thought to be like not even 10 years ago. Now they're going to have every single sports league there.
Now they're talking about a $5 to $10 billion entry fee,
Yeah,
something like that.
which is nothing for these people. Yeah.
So the Pels are going to get somewhere from their cut about $300-500 million from that.
Yes, you would think that would go towards renovations, but we'll see.
Yep, that's what I think Jeff Duncan was tweeting today, that 300 to 400 million, I shouldn't say 500 million, more like 300 to 400 million, would go toward, some of it would go towards Smoothie King Center upgrades.
Yes, at a much needed time. That would be very timely for the Pelicans to get that money, I think.
Seattle gets their team back.
Yeah, which is crazy. It took almost 20 years. That was 2008 when they moved to Oklahoma
You would never
City.
think that long
Yeah,
for Seattle.
yeah.
But the Key Arena, they never built a new arena. They redid Key Arena yet again.
Mhm.
They just they're like the Superdome with that building. They're like, we're not building a basketball arena. We've built soccer, we built football, we built baseball. We're not building a basketball arena.
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of politics and local things that they need to figure out. But, obviously the NBA is doing this for money. Two teams is going to mean a lot more revenue.
Seattle landed the NHL with with the expansion of Key Arena. So I guess they're going to be good enough for basketball. And then you got places like Mexico City, spots in Canada, potentially other places in America.
Yeah, for sure.
Austin, Kansas City, Pittsburgh. I mean, there are a lot of places that could support NBA. So I think just these two, and that's about it for now.
Yeah, and I think pretty well deserved, both cities. I mean, Seattle has a long-standing tradition there with the Supersonics, and
Yep.
Las Vegas has at least held it down with the other teams
Yeah,
up until this
yeah,
point. So
yeah.
if anything, give them credit for that, right?
Have you filled out your bracket yet for March Madness?
I'm going to dive in this week. There was a time where I spent so much time like researching and looking for the underdogs. It's not as bad, but I'm going to dive in and do
Well, I
that.
think you got to just pick the 11. You got to pick a 13.
Yeah, but at
you
least
know? You gotta pick one of those.
exactly. At least for me, the funniest thing about the tournament is the upsets. Like West Kentucky, or who was it? St. Peter's upsetting Kentucky a couple years ago. George Mason in the Final Four in like 2007, whatever it was. That's the one sport where upsets are almost certain to happen, at least one.
And then isn't there a player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You saw this kid?
Yeah,
The big
yeah.
white kid, he might be a Latino actually. With the
That's
goggles.
That's another cool thing about the tournament. All the characters, man.
Yep. Hey, we're coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good, and we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Following the facts.
They've done studies here. 60% of the time, it works. Every time.
Corey Johnson.
Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon, gorgeous afternoon. Daylight for nearly 3 more hours till after 7. At 7:20. Good stuff. Get outside and enjoy it. Cool and crisp. Tomorrow morning, very, very cold, especially on the North Shore, like freezing temperatures. The triple P gimmick is in effect, you North Shore folks. Protect the plants, the pipes, the pets, most importantly, protect those living creatures. It's going to be cold tonight on the North Shore. And then we'll start warming up by Wednesday. I mean, another cold morning, but then 60s and 70s after that, including another great weekend. Yeah, you're right. Yesterday was fantastic. I mean, yesterday afternoon was gorgeous. Like almost hit like 80 degrees, just sunny, nice breeze blowing. Just really nice. And then overnight, boy, that rain came rolling in, dropped the temperature significantly from feeling almost like 80 yesterday afternoon to feeling like the 40s this morning. That wind was howling. It was blowing. That when the wind's blowing and it's cold with the humidity, it's just bone chilling. It's bone chilling, by golly. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. LGD Lawn and Landscapes installed a chipping and putting green in my backyard. They can do the same thing at your house. Or maybe you just need some artificial turf or synthetic turf in a part of your backyard. Zero maintenance. LGD Lawn and Landscapes can handle the job. They installed a chipping and putting green in my backyard. Go to their website, NOLALGD.com. You can check out all kind of installations around the metro area. NOLALGD.com. You can also get a free estimate for your space in your yard. Artificial turf, synthetic turf, even a chipping and putting green in your backyard. NOLALGD.com for a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Check them out. I love my chipping and putting green. Southern Living, best cities in the South. How is New Orleans clearly not number one when the categories include history, music, art, food, and culture? Seriously. Which city has more history, more architecture that you can touch, see, feel today than New Orleans in the South? Music, come on, it's not even worth discussing. There's no city in the South that's anywhere close, including Austin and Nashville. You can combine Austin and Nashville together and make it Austin-Nashville, one music category city, and it doesn't beat New Orleans. So
art, I mean, we're right up there with our museums, right up there with any city. I mean, maybe somewhere bigger like Atlanta may have more museums. Food, I mean, do any of these other cities have their own cuisine like New Orleans? And culture, we're the culture capital of the United States of America, not just the South. So, I mean, if the categories were crime rate and, economy, infrastructure, education system, I'd see us ranking further down the list. But when it's history, music, art, food, and culture, we're number one, without a doubt. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Charleston was number one. Savannah 2, Asheville 3, Nashville 4. I get it. Wilmington 7th. Pensacola came in at 16. I like Pensacola. It's not like, hey, it's my little hidden beach secret town. It's 3 hours. It's all interstate. The beautiful thing is there's like a self-fulfilling prophecy here. A lot of the affluent, well-to-do folks, when they go out of town or go to the beach, they like being around their friends that are well-to-do and affluent. So that like Destin area, 30A, especially past Destin, Highway 30A, just literally billions and billions and billions of dollars of investment down there. The St. Joe Company, they used to be in the paper and timber. Now they're a big land management company. They own a lot of the property around there. I think they kind of dropped the ball on 30A a little bit in this regard. Sort of like New Orleans North Shore, not a lot of planning in advance, just sort of winging it as it goes along. Like I think if the North Shore, that the old Pretty Acres golf course site, if they would just have like a strip of retail on like Causeway and everything behind it was like a park, some kind of Covington Park or City Park of the North Shore, big green space. I think folks would have liked that. And a lot of the stuff that's on I-12 and Causeway, put it down I-12 and Causeway, one exit either way. Going east or west down I-12, but not at Causeway and I-12. Because that's why you have all that, clutter and traffic and Metairie-like environment there, because it was sort of a wing it. Hey, a Pretty Acres site. Let's sell that and zone it and let's start building. Home Depot, all kind of stuff jammed on that site. And then a lot of stuff that was built around it. That Highway 30A, it's just like you're right next door to your neighbor. It's a lot of houses jammed in. They're now going north off of 30A with a lot more houses jammed in. It just means a lot more traffic on 98. 98 in Destin's like Veterans Boulevard. It's crazy traffic. It's crazy congested. They keep expanding it, widening it, and it continues just to have a lot of traffic. But that 30A area is incredible. It's gorgeous water. It's gorgeous beach. I mean, Grayton Beach. These are some of the nicest areas on the whole panhandle, but very crowded. So those folks like that, they're going to continue going down there. I can talk about Pensacola all day, and it's not going to change people's mind. A lot of the folks that like that 30A area, they think of Pensacola kind of like how they think of Fort Walton, sort of, blue collarish, not white collar enough. The funny thing is Pensacola has a lot better restaurants than anywhere else on the panhandle. It's not even close. Better restaurants in Pensacola than Destin, better than Sandestin, better than Highway 30A, the entire highway, better restaurants on the beach, in Gulf Breeze, and in downtown Pensacola than anywhere else on the panhandle. It's 3 hours door to door, not 4.5, and it's all interstate. It's 98% interstate, I-10 to I-110, and then like about 10 minutes of non-interstate, and you're at your condo or your hotel or wherever you're staying in Pensacola Beach. No, there's a little culture downtown. You got the food trucks. You got the minor league baseball team. You got downtown Pensacola, which is seeing a revival, people moving down there, living down there. No, I like Pensacola. And there's no way for me to blow the secret because people think it's blue collar and kind of they want to go to Destin and Highway 30A. And it is a lot more affluent, and there's a lot more money and a lot more rich and wealthy people down there, no doubt. But there's not the restaurants and things to do that you think would match that culture, that money, that wealth. I mean, some of the worst restaurants on the Panhandle are in Destin and Sandestin and Highway 30A. I mean, most of the restaurants down there, clearly most, like 99 out of 100, you really do not want to go eat at these restaurants in the Panhandle of Florida. So no, Pensacola slipping in at 16 makes sense to me. Tampa comes in at 20th. St. Pete comes in at 10th. They're basically the same metro area. But the Southern Living list, when I saw New Orleans at 5, I figured education, crime, infrastructure, economy were part of the, prerequisites, the equation, but it wasn't. It was history, music, art, food, and culture. I just figured New Orleans should have fared better than 5. Although Charleston, Savannah, Asheville, 1, 2, 3 is a pretty good 1, 2, 3 punch, but one could argue those are towns and not cities. Speaking of the Gulf South, the Gulf South's largest, most experienced gutter installation company is New Orleans' own Audubon Gutters. All they do are gutters, Mario. They don't do anything else. They don't do paint or roof, siding, windows, none of that. They do gutters for homes and for businesses exclusively. And they put Leaf Guard gutters featuring the Leaf Guard system on my house. That's a one-piece seamless debris shedding gutter. It's not a screen or a cover or an add-on. I'm watching the commercial for the so-called competition to the Leaf Guard system that Audubon Gutters uses. And there are leaves piled up over the screen, over the cover. So, like, you still have to get on a ladder and clear that off your roof. Not with the Leaf Guard system. You'll literally never, ever have to clean your gutters again. Get it and forget it. Over 35 years, AudubonGutters.com. AudubonGutters.com. After 20 years, West End Park may finally be getting a redo. I shouldn't say a redo, getting some businesses there. Seafood restaurants, businesses, West End Park back in business. Not how you remember it. Not over the 17th Street Canal at the mouth of the lake. I believe with the Army Corps and that pumping station right there now at the mouth of the 17th Street Canal and the lake, they're not going to allow anything built right near there. But they're talking about building in that parking lot, the old parking lot that's been fenced off for years, that fence running through the middle of that parking lot of the old West End Park, which kind of strains the 17th Street Canal, at least by the mouth of the lake, the mouth of the canal at the lake. The canal is not the, border between Orleans and Jefferson. It veers off the canal kind of east right through the middle of that parking lot. So kind of where the fence is in the parking lot, that's Jefferson Parish. The side on the New Orleans side of the fence is not Jefferson Parish. That's Orleans. So redeveloping West End Park and building in the parking lot means literally the building will sit like the Floribama. Half in Florida, half in Alabama. It'll be half in Jefferson Parish, half in Orleans. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. Looking for a job, looking for a career? Go to Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Go to the website right now. Get a new job, a new career, Latrim.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert. usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the fence man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
At Lamarck Lincoln, ownership isn't complicated. It's effortless. With a one-on-one brand specialist every step of the way, we strive to ensure every guest experience is nothing less than elevated. You'll understand why it's more than ownership. It's membership. Visit Lamarck Lincoln at Williams and I-10 in Kenner. Give us a call at 504-238-4800. That's 504-238-4800. Or visit us online at lamarcklincoln.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
If it's a weekday afternoon in New Orleans, it's got to be
It's a party every week, baby.
Corey Johnson.
Amy McCarron joined us to start the program at 4 o'clock. She is the councilwoman for District A in New Orleans, talking about those water main breaks. She's in agreement. You know, this is bigger than New Orleans, bigger than the state. The feds are going to have to get involved. She also I was asking her just what's going on positive in District A since it was so negative talk about these water main breaks. She says we're going to redo Bel Air Drive in Lakeview for folks that know that street. That might be the single worst street in the city of New Orleans. Seriously, I'm honestly trying to think of a worse street than Bel Air Drive in Lakeview. You know, it essentially is right near that 17th Street Canal break. It came flowing in right there. Bel Air, if you're on Old Hammond Highway, you know, the end of Allen, Tucson, Old Robert E. Lee, you're heading into Metairie, you're heading into Bucktown. The last street is Bel Air up against the 17th Street Canal. And it runs all the way through to Veterans, and then actually cuts into Lakewood North and South, and then goes on the other side of the tracks and runs to Metairie Road. Lots of breaks. You can't drive straight across it, obviously, but the part I'm talking about in between Veterans and Old Hammond Highway, Allen, Tucson, that is the worst street in New Orleans from one end to the other. It is absolutely horrendous. You would need a monster truck, like a monster truck, to drive down that street, say at 20 miles an hour. I mean, I honestly think if you had a decent lift kit on a Ford F-150 or something, that you might lose a bumper or scrape the oil pan. It's obnoxious how bad that street is. If you know that neighborhood, They've fixed some streets here and there so you can kind of zigzag around and kind of take the best route in and out to get you to like Fleur-de-Lis or to get you over to Pontchartrain Boulevard. But it's amazing how bad that street is. And I have no interest in the street. I don't live on it. I have a friend that lives on the street. That's how I'm familiar with it a little bit. Go to a crawfish boil at his house like every year. Probably the only time I'm on that street. But it is horrendous, and it is 20 years overdue being repaired, like should have been fixed 15, 18 years ago, literally. And I know there are a lot of bad streets in New Orleans that are horrendous, that are awful. I can't think of one that's worse than Bel Air. Can you? 766-9480. Which street is worse than Bel Air Drive in Lakeview? 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. What about Southern Living? Best cities in the South based off of history, music, art, food, and culture. And New Orleans comes in at number 5, not number 1. I mean, if you talk about history, music, art, food, culture in America, New Orleans probably is going to be number 1. Southern Living had us 5 after some pretty good cities, especially the first 3, which I would argue are actually large towns, not cities. Charleston, Savannah, and Asheville. I mean, you can almost judge a city not only on its population, but like skyline, arguably, or like their airport, how many flights are coming in and out of their airport? Is it a city or is it a town? Charleston, Savannah, Asheville, I'd say are large towns. But Charleston, Savannah, Asheville are 1, 2, 3. Nashville in at number 4. New Orleans is 5th. That's Southern Living, best cities in the South based off of history, music, art, food, and culture. Like I said earlier, if it was, crime, infrastructure, economy, and education, I could see New Orleans 5th, 8th, 10th, 14th in the South. But when it's based off of history, music, art, food, and culture, I think we're clearly number 1 in the South, arguably number 1 in America. French Quarter Fest, the full lineup announced. It is a month away, 4 weeks from this Thursday. French Quarter Fest 2026, 300 acts over 20 stages. There's going to be about 70 local restaurants involved and nearly 300 different dishes to choose from, like 275 plus. French Quarter Fest just gets bigger and better each year. I mean, they're barely scratching the surface. They could head towards Rampart, go north, and cross into Armstrong Park, Congo Square. There's enough room in that park for a festival alone. You bring the, Mahalia Jackson Theater into play, a redone municipal auditorium down the line into play. And then going down the riverfront, they're already expanding a little bit, into that new Audubon Park. The old, Governor Nichols, Esplanade Street wharfs, whatever has been fixed up, they're going to move in that direction. That's eventually going to connect right into Crescent Park. I mean, French Quarter Fest could start going in that direction. It could become a massive festival. You could have a festival at Crescent Park. You could have its own festival at Armstrong Park. So sky's the limit for French Quarter Fest. You would think they're landlocked. Sort of the opposite. Could fade into the upper part of the CBD and the warehouse district. It's unlimited footprint for the French Quarter Festival. It already does more people in 4 days than Jazz Fest does in 8. More people attend French Quarter Fest in 4 days than the amount of people that attend Jazz Fest in 8. Jazz Fest is also a north of $100 ticket. French Quarter is free. French Quarter Fest is free. All you pay for is the food and drinks, whatever you eat and drink. The music, getting in and out, no charge, no gates. West End Park may be coming back online. 20 years of nothing. I'll fill you in on that in the 5 o'clock powwow. Hey, the Fence Man. When you need a fence or automatic gate for your home or business or any property, you got to see the Fence Man. For all your backyard residential or commercial fencing needs, you got to see the Fence Man. Over 20 years, thefenceman-neworleans.com. When building a fence or an automatic gate in Metro New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, river parishes, you got to see the Fence Man. Thefenceman-neworleans.com. Thefenceman-neworleans.com. Every day. This program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, Lamarck Ford, Lamarck Lincoln, and Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, your commercial truck, van, SUV dealer. Thank you, Ronnie Lamarck from Araby Park. Blue Boy thanks you as well. What's that, buddy? 1 hour in the books on a Monday. You got that right. What's that you say? High five? Give you a 5? You want $5? What? Slow down, buddy. Oh, the 5 o'clock power hour's next. I should have been listening closer. Good boy, Blue Boy.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's called more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Number 9, Drew Brees. Yep, he's right. It is New Orleans, Louisiana, the 5 o'clock power hour. It's upon us on a Monday. Thanks for checking us out on radio, on television. We go till 6 o'clock on TV now. It used to be the first 90 minutes of the 2-hour talk program on Cox Channel 4, on Spectrum Channel 333. Now we go all the way till 6 o'clock, not 5:30. So if you're watching on Cox Channel 4, you get the full program. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. If you're checking us out on Spectrum Channel 333, you get the full program till 6 o'clock. Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, Hammond, Houma, Thibodeau, Opelousas. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Absolutely gorgeous day in New Orleans, in South Louisiana. 55 degrees, sunny, cool, and crisp. So nice outside. I may have to pull the old Weber kettle out, drop some coals, and do a little grilling tonight. When we wake up in the morning, it's expected to be around 39, 40 on the South Shore. North Shore, temperatures expected to be around freezing overnight. The Triple P gimmick in effect: protect the plants, the pipes, most importantly, the pets, outdoor animals. Take care of them. Now, I set up the back shed for the feral cats I have, 2 outdoor cats that I've adopted. They come inside sometimes, but they do not like staying inside. They want out. So I set up the shed. I got a couple of space heaters in there. Got a little spot where they can get in and out. So I know no matter how cold it gets outside, like it's going to be a good 20 degrees warmer in that shed. A good 20 degrees warmer. Maybe more like 30 degrees warmer. Anyway, you got to take care of those outdoor animals. By the way, outdoor cats, yeah, they're called feral cats. There's no outdoor dogs. Just homeless dogs that roam around in packs. Those are outdoor dogs. Any human being that owns a dog, that the dog is their dog, there's no such thing as an outdoor dog. And you go, no, you're wrong, Corey. My dog stays outside all the time, in his doghouse or his shed or out in the yard, never comes in the house. That's just animal cruelty, and you should not have a dog. That's not how it works. And if you're going to do that, which I'm hoping is against the law under animal cruelty, I know you're giving that once a month, medicine for heartworms, right? And you're going to the vet at least twice a year because your dog's outside all the time, like it's an alarm system. Unbelievable. No, they're people that know they're doing wrong and they do it anyway. They're people where they justify doing wrong out of convenience. Rather the dog stay outside than come in the house. Like the dog, it protects us when anyone comes in the yard.
It's not an alarm system. Get an alarm system. Get a camera. I don't know what to tell you. Animal abuse. There's no outdoor dogs. 766-9480. Dial us up. Love to hear from you. 766-9480. Listening on radio, watching on TV, checking us out on social media, maybe Twitter, a.k.a. X, at Corey Johnson. Follow us on Twitter. And you can watch the show live on X every weekday afternoon. Maybe you're checking us out on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't cost nothing. No matter how you're checking us out, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. It is a little after 5 o'clock. A lot of you are checking us out in the vehicle heading home from work. You're going to pass a few Rouse's Markets. Did you stock up for the week? Rouse's Markets, over 75 locations, definitely one near you on the way home, probably 2 or 3 near you on the way home from work. If you go to rouses.com, upper right-hand corner, they have their newspaper ads, their weekly specials. Speaking of stocking up, stock up on the stuff you buy regularly when it's on sale at Rouse's, already a Rouse's low price. And then these items go on sale, you can get them even cheaper. I've mentioned an item I get, $6.29, $6.39 at Rouse's, $9.99 at another local grocery store. $9.99, like $3.40 more. Sometimes Rouse's has these items 2 for $10. So I'm getting 2 for the price of 1 when I take advantage of those sales Rouse's has. This product goes on sale about every 8 weeks. So I'll stock up. I'll buy like 6 or 8 of them. Rouses.com, top right hand of the page. Click on those newspaper ads, those specials. Rouses.com. Gorgeous day. I might head to Rouse's. Pick up a slab or some chicken. Slab, I mean steak, like New York strip, ribeye, filet. Maybe one of those lesser cuts like a flank or skirt steak, hanger steak. Drop some coals tonight, do some grilling. Maybe some chicken, maybe some pork, some seafood. It's Lent. No, really nice night. Cold tomorrow morning to start. Cold Wednesday morning to start. And then after that, it's just warming up. After Wednesday, it's going to warm up, lots of 60s and 70s, sunny, another nice weekend. Make plans for this weekend because it's going to be nice. French Quarter Fest announced their full lineup. Believe it or not, that's 4 weeks from Thursday. They go 4 straight days, April 16th through 19th. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4 weeks from this Thursday. French Quarter Fest. 300 plus music acts, 300 plus over 4 days, 20 stages now, 70 local restaurants, 70, 275 plus dishes, 275 plus dishes. 766-9480. Who's got better food? Who's got better music? French Quarter Fest or Jazz Fest? Who's got better food? French Quarter Fest with the restaurants or Jazz Fest with the New Orleans festival food? Don't get mistaken. Jazz Fest, everybody knows it's not funnel cakes and corn dogs. 766-9480. No shot, no how. 766-9480 is how you dial us up.
Have you ever had those things at the Texas State Fair, though?
Like a corn dog?
Yeah, isn't that like their
I'm trying to
staple?
think. I mean, I might have had a corn dog like when I was like 10. I haven't had a corn dog in 30, 40 years.
Got you.
A funnel cake is like a poor man's sort of beignet.
Yeah.
You know.
It's good. I'll mess up some funnel cakes.
Yeah, but I'd rather beignets. But yeah.
Same amount of mess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm not into like burgers at a fair. They're usually just crappy burgers. No, the food at most festivals around the country sucks, Mario.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
generic.
like almost like stadium food.
I guess I would want to experience the Texas State Fair, but that's just because the Texas-Oklahoma football game pushed it so hard. The food looks so good.
Boy, I'll never forget going to Camden Yards. This is like 30 years ago when it first opened.
The Orioles.
Yeah, they had these Weber kettles, that were there. It's called like a backyard kettle. I'm not kidding you. It's like, 4 feet in diameter. It's huge. Like it isn't a ball. It's so big it can't be a ball. It's more like an egg, like kind of oval shaped, but it's gigantic. They had like 2 or 3 of them out in the outfield, and just these huge brisket that they're smoking and grilling out there and then slicing it up, these fresh brisket sandwiches. That's some of the better stadium food I've had. I mean, New Orleans, the arena and the dome should have just superior food.
Yeah. No, they should. I don't want to get in trouble, but they
There
definitely
are
should.
more
Yeah.
options than ever, but there's still a lot of crap. And then even the stuff that's supposed to be good is kind of crappy. I mean, I went to a Saints game and was in the club. A lot of it's just, stuff cut out of a bag, reheated, nothing great.
Yeah, and pricey. A lot of stadiums.
And pricey as hell. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a lot of stadiums are using the business model where they just make food a lot cheaper.
Atlanta's doing that, I think.
Atlanta, the Phoenix Suns. Since Atlanta started doing it, more teams and more leagues are doing it now. And from a bottom line standpoint, it seems to be working. And just basic economics, you would think a lot of people go to the games no matter what, right? A lot of people are going to buy food no matter what.
No doubt.
If it's cheaper,
well, that's why,
especially so.
parking and the food, they gouge on that to make a big profit.
Yeah, but if they're going to the game, if food prices are that low, they're more than likely going to buy some food. So you're gonna make up the margin, I feel like.
I think some people still go to the arena, still go to the dome, will eat at the game. And I'm like, no, we're not. I mean, I don't really want to eat at the game. And that sucks. You should be able to go to a Saints game and get an excellent meal.
Yeah.
Like gumbo you want to eat. Maybe like, a steak sandwich or flounder, speckled trout, fried shrimp that you want to eat that are good. It's the Superdome. It's New Orleans. It's the Smoothie King Center. It's New Orleans.
Yeah.
Should be top notch.
You would think you'd want away fans too to come to the city and go to the game and be like, yeah, the stadium food is just like
It's
the city
fantastic. You want to go eat. You don't want to eat at a restaurant before. We'll eat at the game. It's fantastic.
food. A reflection of the city too,
Yep. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Speaking of a reflection of the city, they've been at it since 1940, before we got into World War II. 86 years of excellence. That's Young's Dry Cleaning. Literally a New Orleans institution, the best in the business. I've been going to Young's for like 40 years. My mom's like 60, 70 years at Young's. 86 years since 1940. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations. All you need to know, youngsdrycleaning.com. youngsdrycleaning.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Thoughtful conversation, common sense.
Chemtrails! Chemtrails!
Corey Johnson.
I might pick up some Lebanon's Cafe tonight myself. Great for Lent. Get the grilled shrimp shish kebab, fresh Gulf shrimp. And it says right on the front door when you walk in, fresh Gulf shrimp, like the law requires. And then get tabbouleh, baba ganoush, hummus, mujedra, lots of great dishes that are Lent ready at Lebanon's Cafe. Or get shish kebab like beef, chicken, or lamb, or the lamb chops. They're open till 9:30. I love that. Open late, 7 days a week, too. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. You know what else I like about Lebanon's Cafe? Fresh, large portions, priced right, authentic. They don't want to lose like the Tulane Loyola crowd. So it's not, expensive. Good stuff. Lebanon's Cafe. 55 degrees, sunny and so nice, and 2 more hours of daylight, New Orleans. Plenty of time to get outside. Enjoy this day, this afternoon, cool and crisp. Get a jacket on. In the morning, it's going to be 40, 39, 40 on the South Shore. Freezing temperatures on the North Shore. Southern Living, best cities in the South. The prerequisites were history, music, art, food, and culture. How is New Orleans clearly not number one? Charleston was number 1, Savannah 2, Asheville 3, Nashville 4, New Orleans was 5th. Ahead of Lexington, Wilmington, Chattanooga, Greenville, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Franklin, Tennessee, Orlando, Austin, Louisville, Pensacola, Atlanta, Charlotte, San Antonio, Tampa round out the top 20. New Orleans head of all those cities, but New Orleans in at 5th, Nashville 4, Asheville 3, Savannah 2, Charleston 1. Just a couple of things. Charleston, Savannah, and Asheville are like big towns, not cities. Second, it's the prerequisites weren't economy, education, infrastructure, and crime. It was history, music, art, food, and culture. New Orleans, not only number 1 in the South, probably number 1 in America. History, music, art, food, and culture. I mean, history, we're right up there, number 1 in America. Music, we are number 1 in America. Art, we're highly ranked. Food, arguably number 1 in America. Culture, arguably number 1 in America. I mean, I would say music, clearly number 1. Culture, clearly number 1. History and food, arguably number 1 in America. And art's the only thing that you couldn't say we're number 1 in America. But Southern Living has us 5 in the South. Anyway, what are your thoughts? 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Hey, Mario, the NBA is going to vote to explore expansion. Well, what a trip. I mean, it's like these sports leagues are funny. It's like the NFL with the next Super Bowls. We know Vegas and Nashville are getting the next 2 Super Bowls, like the worst kept secret. We know Las Vegas and Seattle are getting the expansion NBA franchises. Why? They're going to vote to explore expansion. I mean, they're not going to just vote like, hey, Vegas and Seattle. They're voting like, let's broach the subject.
Yeah, it's just common sense. Like, they've made a lot of changes to add more revenue to the league lately, right? In both leagues, like more playoff games, more teams making the playoffs, like anything that's going to generate more money, they're going to explore doing.
I wonder if they're going to shrink the regular season games, though.
You would
from
think
82 to like 70, and then just sadly increase ticket prices by about 15% to compensate.
Well, that and the 2 extra teams, I think, would make up for it. So I think we're kind of heading that way. Honestly, props to the NBA for not shortening the season for all this time. You would have thought with all the dialogue, all the complaining from the players and coaches, they would have done it by now, but they haven't. With this change coming, though, with more teams coming, I would think that's probably
You're bringing these 2 teams, Mario. I mean, you're watering down the league, though. You're taking a player off every roster.
Yeah.
You're taking and some of these Las Vegas and Seattle players are going to be star players. Some. So it's not like you're taking the 13th or 15th guy off every roster.
No.
You're taking, could be the best player off a team's roster, could be the 3rd or 5th best player, but there's going to be one player that would be on the Pelicans and every other roster that won't be. That'll be on these teams. You're watering it down a little bit.
Yeah, there's also already a lot of bad teams in the league. Like
You're going to have a few more now.
Yeah, teams that are tanking or trying to lose on purpose to get better draft picks. So you might dilute it even more.
You're definitely diluting it more, and I would bet you're not going to create 2 great teams to add to the list of great teams. You're going to probably create 2 mediocre. I'm not saying Las Vegas or Seattle will be. They might be. Another team takes that role.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's so many, like, I know you're not a big conspiracy person, but there's so many conspiracies about the league, like helping bigger markets, from getting, Patrick Ewing to go to the Knicks in the 80s to Cooper Flagg, who I'm seeing tonight play down the street.
Yep.
There's a conspiracy that the Lakers made that stupid trade with Luka Doncic, and then the league gave the number 1 pick.
It's always easy to Monday quarterback and come up with the conspiracy.
But either way, man, it's happened. So even if you don't believe the conspiracy, call it luck. But a lot of bad teams are a lot of teams.
Oh,
and
look at the Pels with Zion.
Yeah. So if you don't want to call it a conspiracy, call it luck. But, sometimes a lot of
fortune, the numbers fell their way.
Yeah, happens to favor a big markets. Again, maybe just luck for them. But yeah, that happens.
March Madness NCAA tournament is all set. Any Louisiana team slip in there?
McNeese, 3rd straight year.
God, McNeese slipped in when they won their tournament again?
Yeah.
Their record, though, was nowhere near like the Will Wade type stuff. They've got like 10, 12 losses, right?
I think they had a winning. We could look it up, but I'm pretty sure they had a winning record in the league.
I think they have a winning
like
record, but and in the league as well. But I think that McNeese is something like 15-12 or something like that.
Yeah, but
Google them, Mario.
Yeah, they needed a good showing, and they made it. And props. Although they don't have Will Wade anymore, I really respect what they have done.
Exactly. Are you kidding? To come in again? That's strong.
Yeah.
Will Wade and NC State, I think, were one of the last 4 teams to slip in. NC State was one of the final 4, the last 4 to slip in.
Yeah, so they're 28-5, 19-3.
McNeese is?
Yeah, they're only Stephen F. Austin had a really good season. They're ahead of them, so that might be why you thought they weren't as strong.
They're 28-5?
They're 28-5.
Damn,
yeah.
so they just like would not even missing a beat at McNeese.
No, and they beat the team better than them in the conference tournament. So yeah,
they earned it.
They got some good players, man. They got some good, like 2-3 year players there.
That's unreal.
Yeah, rooting for them. LSU hasn't made it since 2022. UNO hasn't made it since 2013. It's been a long time for Tulane. So, yeah, root for McNeese.
Mario, I remember back in the day, now this is like 30 years ago, you would have literally like, Tulane, UNO, and LSU making it like every year. UNO was Tim Floyd. Tulane had Perry Clark and the Posse. LSU had Dale Brown. Those 3 were pretty much locks. La Tech was always decent. UL Lafayette was always decent. And then Ben Jobe had Southern always playing good basketball. Southern upset Georgia Tech in the NCAA tournament when I was at LSU. So at one time, I think the most we had 6 from Louisiana, nearly 10% of the field. Now we just don't see Louisiana basketball representing in the NCAA tournament like that anymore.
It's sad, but at the same time, McNeese shows that if you invest in the program, you can be successful.
What are they, like a 13, 14 seed?
Yeah, something like double digit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're definitely. in the teens, I would think.
Yeah, they're playing Vanderbilt in the first round, who's a 5
Vandy's a
seed.
5
So they're a 12 seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're 12. Okay, or an 11.
Yeah, against an SEC team. They pulled some upsets, man. I wouldn't sleep on McNeese.
And I always say, and I think most folks know this is common knowledge, you pretty much got to take an 11 in the first round and a 13 now.
Yeah, for the most part.
Upsetting somebody.
The last couple years have been pretty chalky. I'm not going to lie, like the last 2 years specifically, but I think we're going to regress back to the mean a little this year.
There's sort of a separation. The top 4 seeds, they're sort of elite.
Yes.
Right?
Normally, yeah.
And that appears to be the case this year.
Yeah, you don't have many like 2 seeds losing to 15 seeds and 16 seeds beating 1 seeds. But like you said, there's always like a 3 seed or a 4 seed that falters. So hopefully McNeese could take advantage.
Duke's the overall number 1?
Yeah, I believe so. We could look at the bracket real quick. But yeah. Duke's number 1, Arizona's number 1. Florida,
UConn,
defending champs, and
UConn and Florida.
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, UConn women's really good. But yeah, Florida, Michigan, Duke, and Arizona.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. Fill out your bracket. The NCAA tournament is set. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. We started the program at 4 o'clock like we do every weekday afternoon. Amy McCarron joined us, Councilwoman District A, talking about these water main breaks. We've had a half dozen of them in just like the last 6 weeks. 5 of the 6 in uptown New Orleans. 3 in her District A, like 3 within a mile of each other. 2 at Panola and Carrollton, right down the block from each other. And the latest and greatest, essentially on Tulane's campus, Audubon at Willow, right off of Tulane's campus. You know, Amy McCarron agrees with me. This kind of reminds me of like the Flint lead pipe thing. Too big for Flint, too big for the state of Michigan. The feds had to be involved. 300-year-old city, an antiquated water and sewage system. Some of these pipes, some of these water mains are over 100 years old. It's too big for New Orleans to fix. It's too big for the state of Louisiana to fix. This is a federal problem. It needs federal dollars, like hundreds of millions of dollars to inspect, evaluate, and repair broken pipes now so we don't continue to have this problem. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Get in the game, 766-9480. Yesterday afternoon, I guarantee you're running air conditioning. It's like 78 degrees. Now you're running heat, especially overnight. It's going to be about 40 degrees on the South Shore tomorrow morning, around freezing on the North Shore. If you need air conditioning or heat help in New Orleans, that's the metro area, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. In Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. Fair and honest Lucas and the boys, incapable of screwing you around. 30-plus techs, 30-plus trucks. They'll get there immediately, and they'll diagnose it right the first time. Total Maintenance, 40-plus years, sterling reputation. If you need AC or heat help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. In New Orleans or Baton Rouge, Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday, 5 o'clock powwow. How about this cold snap? Killing some mosquitoes, just what the doctor ordered. Summer's coming.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Simlawn Artificial Turf Custom Golf Putting Green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
49 years in a row. Ford F-150, #1 truck in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. Because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Arabi, Chalmette, Violet, Lafitte, New Orleans East, Slidell, Mandeville, Covington, Hammond, Homa, Thibodaux. We got you covered.
Yep, got you covered. Like Kiefer and Kiefer, a New Orleans law firm for decades, committed to their clients. If you are not injured, if you don't have a real claim, if you don't have a legal issue, but you're trying to take advantage of the system, Kiefer and Kiefer is not for you. But if you need real legal help with real legal solutions, professionals, experts that are passionate at what they do, Kiefer and Kiefer is for you. Find out more online, KieferandKiefer.com. KieferandKiefer.com. Corey Johnson with you. Amy McCarron joined us, Councilwoman District A, to start the 4 o'clock hour. We're talking about those water main breaks in Uptown. She's in agreement with me that this is bigger than New Orleans, bigger than the state. This needs like federal assistance. Kind of like the Flint, Michigan lead pipes. After discussing the water main breaks for most of the segment before we let her go, I was like, any positive news in District A? And she was talking about new businesses opening up. And she also said Bel Air Drive in Lakeview is about to get redone. Yeah, that Bel Air Drive. Anyone who's visited a friend or gone down that street on purpose or by accident, it is absolutely insane. I can't think of a worse street in Metro New Orleans in worse shape than Bel Air Drive in Lakeview. Is there a street in Metro New Orleans in worse shape than Bel Air Drive in Lakeview? And Bel Air Drive in Lakeview's been this way for like 20 years at least, maybe pre-Katrina. 766-9480. Is there a worse street in New Orleans than Bel Air Drive? 766-9480. There's some bad streets in New Orleans. Some bad streets in Uptown, some bad streets in Lakeview. 766-9480. Bel Air Drive, to me, takes the cake. I mean, that street is horrendous. You can't physically drive down that in a car at any kind of speed. You just zigzagging around trying to avoid drains that are popped up several inches, if not a foot above where the street is, huge potholes, chunks of concrete, asphalt everywhere. It's crazy. Bel Air and Lakeview, Amy McCarran says it's getting redone. Folks that live out there are probably like, thank God. I mean, it's almost not conceivable. You have like a house worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. On Bel Air and Lakeview, there's probably a few homes north of $1 million, worth north of $1 million. And you literally can't drive down your street unless you have like a serious truck or SUV. And then still, it's a jarring, jolting ride. There's something wrong with that. So that's good news from Amy McCarran, Councilwoman District A. Bel Air Drive in Lakeview going to get redone finally. Is there a worse street? I can't think of one. Can you? 766-9480. Where are just some absolutely terrible streets that are physically hard to drive down, like Bel Air Drive in Lakeview? 766-9480 is how you get in the game. 766-9480. The phone number to participate in today's program. West End Park may be coming back online after 20 years of nothing. 20 years. West End Park has just sat out there. They're not going to be able to build like they built before at the mouth of the 17th Street Canal as it hits the lakes, like over the water, where Fitzgerald's was, where Brunnings was. They're not going to be able to build over the water. Reportedly, the Army Corps of Engineers, with the pump station moved to pretty much that spot, they don't want anything constructed right in front of where that pumping station is. The folks over in West End Park, that neighborhood, Bucktown, they have a suggestion on another place to build more down towards the point, where you could put a bunch of restaurants and the like over the water, literally on top of the water, like it should be. And these West End Park neighbors, they've been living out there for 20 plus years now with no West End Park, with no Coconut Beach. So they don't want stuff back in that particular spot. And one of the reasons also because you can't build over the water there. They're going to build in what was the old parking lot for West End Park. And then across, what is that, Breakwater Drive? Across the street, in the park, they will cut out some of that park and have parking there where you'll park on the right side of Breakwater Drive, cross the street to enter what will be the new West End Park, where the parking lot exists presently. Now, what's weird about that parking lot, half of it is in Jefferson Parish, and half of that parking lot is in Orleans. And you only can access it from Orleans Parish, obviously. That bridge, that footbridge they used to have crossing the 17th Street Canal from Metairie into New Orleans was ripped out and never replaced. So it appears Orleans and Jefferson finally are on the same page, and they are going to build something on West End, restaurants and the like. But the building will be built in the existing parking lot. And then they'll have to have parking across the street. I guess that's Breakwater Drive in the park. A lot of the West End Park neighbors don't want that. I've had them on the show before. I forget the acronym, but it's like the West End Park, town residents, I believe. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Best quality, best price, best selection. I must be talking about Rouse's. I'm going to go online right now while we're live on the air to rouses.com, because right up on the page, top right, they have their newspaper specials, weekly ads, a big red box, live by the sack, Louisiana crawfish, hot from the pot, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Crawfish at your neighborhood Rouse's, hot from the pot, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Live by the sack for you to boil them yourself. And they got everything, the propane, the pot, the burners, everything. Live crawfish by the sack. Hot from the pot, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Donnie Rouse holding up a 50-pound bag of crawfish. Here's the weekly ads. I just clicked on the big red box. Weekly ads, they're newspaper ads. More ways to save. Now, last week they had USDA prime filet for $12.88 a pound. Now, you got to check the specials because there are, it's a few hundred specials, a few hundred items on sale. A lot of the time, these items can be things that you buy all the time. So stock up on them. It's already a low Rouse's price, volume buying. They've got 75 plus stores. Their weekly ads make it even less. And then live crawfish by the sack at your Rouse's Market. Get live crawfish by the sack and get them hot from the pot, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at every Rouse's. Cooking king cakes during Mardi Gras time, boiling crawfish during crawfish season, and live by the sack. Rouse's makes it so easy. Born on the Bayou. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Southern Living, best cities in the South. Number 20, Tampa. San Antonio at 19, 18, Charlotte, Atlanta at 17, Pensacola at 16, 15th, Louisville, 14th, Austin, 13, Orlando, 12 is Franklin, Tennessee, and 11 is Sarasota, Florida. Your top 10 Southern Living, best cities in the South. St. Petersburg, 10, Greenville, South Carolina, 9. Boy, I barely can read my own writing. Chattanooga, 8th. Wilmington, 7th. Lexington, 6th. Southern Living, best cities in the South, top 5. Charleston's number 1. Savannah, number 2. Asheville, 3. Nashville, 4. New Orleans in at number 5. Now, I could see that if you were bringing in some other, prerequisites like infrastructure, education, economy, crime. But Southern Living, best cities in the South, it was about history, music, art, food, and culture. History, music, art, food, and culture. History, obviously one of the top cities in the South, one of the top in the country. Music, we're number 1 in America, much less the South. Number 1 in America. Art, top 15 at worst city in America. Food, you could argue number 1. We have our own food. And culture, I think easily number 1 in the South, arguably number 1 in America. How did we end up 5th best city in the South by Southern Living when history, music, art, food, and culture were what they were keying in on? Me no comprende on that one. Looking for dinner on a Monday night? What a great way to get the week started. Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. So many Lenten specials. And I don't mean like on the big special board. They'll have some seafood specials ready for Lent, specials on the board. I'm talking just the menu. So many seafood items, maybe a dozen to 15 Lent-ready seafood items. So much seafood, usually about 4 or 5 different fresh Gulf fish, soft-shell crabs, Iberville, Corner Telemachus, about 4 blocks behind Angelo Bricato's ice cream joint on Carrollton. Katie's in Mid-City. Yeah, great place for Lent. And after Wednesday, you can head back out to the patio, outdoor dining. It's going to be cold. It's kind of cool and cold right now. Tomorrow morning, cold. Wednesday morning, cold. And then warms up after Wednesday. Lots of 60s and 70s, including a great weekend. That means outdoor dining in the patio at Katie's. Love me some Katie's. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Thanks for checking us out on radio, checking us out on television, checking us out on social media. Corey Johnson with you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and
You'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Total Maintenance King. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Fence Man, a locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
Yes, I'm the fence man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Women are often throwing clothing items at me, saying you're the possessor of the cool factor. I have to fight off the ladies.
90 minutes of fun every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Yeah, you right. Welcome back. 5 o'clock power hour. Corey Johnson with you. Broadcasting live from the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios like we do every day. 4 to 6 o'clock on radio, on television, on social media. Plus, you can check out short clips from the program on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. Follow us on all of those social media platforms. Pick your poison. Gorgeous day. Still a lot of daylight left, like at least an hour and a half. Get outside and enjoy it. Remember, it's daylight till like 7:20 now. 54 degrees, sunny and nice. Cool and crisp evening. I might drop coals tonight because it's just cool and crisp and nice. No mosquitoes, no bugs. It's going to be 39 or 40 tomorrow morning on the South Shore. That means that triple P gimmick in effect for you North Shore folks. Freezing temperatures tomorrow morning on the North Shore. Protect the pipes, the plants. Most importantly, protect the pets. Freezing temperatures overnight. Oh, it's only 32. My dog will be all right. Why is your dog outside all the time to begin with? It's going to be cold again Wednesday morning and then warm up. Like Wednesday afternoon at like 70 degrees. Warming up by Wednesday for the rest of the week into next week. Great weekend. Like after Wednesday, 60s and 70s and sunny. Like every day. Man, if you got like that southern Mississippi house, South Alabama beach house, Panhandle of Florida house, get down there after Wednesday. Because it's going to just be some great weather. If you have the wherewithal just to, on a whim. Honey, I thought we were going to the grocery. We're going to the grocery and we're picking up some sacks of groceries and then we're beelining to our beach house on a whim. That's nice. I'd like to have a second home. That would be wonderful. Anyway, the weather warming up Wednesday. Great weather to be outside. Enjoy that hunting camp, the fishing hole, get some landscaping done, walk the dog, do whatever. Just get outside and enjoy this weather. Right now, it's cool and crisp, but after Wednesday, 60s and 70s, perfect. Hey, Mario Brothers, the NBA is going to expand, it looks like. They're voting to explore it. Las Vegas and Seattle, right? There's no other cities even vying, right?
No, those are the cities that it's reported that they're discussing. And I was just thinking that'd be wild to be a Seattle Supersonics fan. Imagine if you were like 15 years old or something when they left. And now they come back and you're a 35-year-old.
Well, that was like, Jazz leaving and Pelicans coming.
Yeah, similar.
Took 25 years.
Dang, I guess you're right. That's a good comparison.
Left in 75. Excuse me, 79.
But it's gonna.
It was about 23 years.
The difference there is, I think it's gonna be a lot easier for Seattle fans to accept because it's the same teams, the same colors. Sean Kemp, all the tradition there. You know,
George, it'll be the Seattle Sonics again.
Yeah, George Karl. Like they had some really good teams back in the day.
Of course they did. They were legendary.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Like really good
No,
fans.
and the Jazz are in Utah. That's still so weird.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I was just hoping like that franchise would be down for a while. Like they have to reinvent themselves kind of thing. And let's change the name. And like the Pels could send like draft picks or money and get the name back.
Mm-hmm.
And at least be able to wear the uniforms.
Yeah, I'd heard they tried, but Utah just loves the name. Same thing for I guess when they first got there, they were bad for a little while, but then they got Stockton and they got Malone, and now Utah Jazz fans today root for the team because those are the guys their parents rooted for.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
So it's going to be the same thing in Seattle. Happy for them. Las Vegas is a little more interesting.
Mr. Bonner, I was friends with his son Jimmy. We went to De La Salle together. His dad was the artist who came up with the Jazz logo.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Big piece of history, man.
Which is still used today.
That's awesome.
So the NBA is going to expand. There's no expansion like, wow, Mexico City.
No, they've been planning to put teams in these cities for a long time.
March Madness, you got your bracket filled out?
Not yet. I'm going to dive into it next week. Rooting for McNeesa, third straight year, only Louisiana team representing the state. Yeah.
And Will Wade slipped in the back door with NC State also.
Exactly.
I saw that.
So, yeah.
So only Louisiana team is McNeese?
The only.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
And they slipped in that to win their tournament to slip in.
Yeah.
even though they're like 23-5 or something obnoxious.
I had a great season. I mean,
3 in a row.
A lot of people kind of criticized that hire when they got Will Wade because of all the smoke around it and because of the fact that it was going to be kind of a rental eventually if he had success.
I figured they'd be like a 500 ball club this year without him.
But no, like that's a school, maybe Tulane and LSU and others should take note. Like that's a school that invested in basketball and is still reaping the benefits, not just because of one person.
It looks like Matt McMahon's going to stick around, I think.
Yeah, just the finances, it kind of looks like he is.
Buyout's big. They haven't funded NIL right. It's like he's had injuries. I think that's how they're looking at it.
Yeah, it kind of is what it is. And that is true. That's definitely a factor. I've given my opinion on this many times on the show. Like I think the sample size is there, but he lost his starting point guard 2 years in a row. The same guy. Like if he had a little bit better injury fortune, maybe they could be closer to contending.
That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X. Corey Johnson with you. Art and Eyes on Magazine. We're getting towards summertime. You need a great pair of sunglasses or you wear prescription eyewear like I do. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Do not go waste your money on sunglasses at some place in the mall or some chain store that is anywhere in America. There's only one Art and Eyes in New Orleans on Magazine. Google them. 4,000 frames to choose from, a staff that's specialized in this industry. I love Art and Eyes on Magazine. If you need prescription eyewear or a great pair of sunglasses, Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. We started the show with Amy McCarron, Councilwoman District A, talking about these water main breaks in Uptown. She's in agreement with me. This is a bigger problem than New Orleans, bigger problem than the state. The feds are going to have to intervene. Hundreds of millions of dollars to fix this. Winding down Monday. That's Blue Boy saying thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Usual deal, 4 o'clock Tuesday. Be here.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.